In 2021, the Head Start counselors designed our OOPS form to help us best support children's behavior while tracking it. Like many wonderful innovations, this form has undergone some evolution in the last year. Counselors have used your data and needs to create an updated version for the 2023 school year. In this video, we'll look at each part of the updated form to help explain all the new ways it can be used to help the children in our program. First, there are some format changes to the new OOPS form. The biggest change is there is only one OOPS per page as compared to the 3 per page on the prior form. However, you can still record multiple OOPSes on the page by numbering each entry as being part of a single OOPS. For example, when recording the first OOPS, write the OOPS as you normally would by filling in the appropriate boxes and circles. When recording OOPS number 2, write a small number 2 by each entry in each box that corresponds to the information entered on the form. Do the same for a potential third OOPS. Write a number 3 by the information representing the third OOPS. You can use a new form for each OOPS if it is less confusing. At the top of the form, you'll record the basic information related to the child who had the OOPS. First is the child's name, the date of the OOPS, and what center the child attends. It can be helpful to also include the class number to help with sorting and filing later. On the second line in the box, record what time the OOPS occurred. This is the time the concerning behavior began. If you choose to record more than one OOPS on a page, leave room to write other times on this line. We've added the question, does the child have an SDP or ISP? This stands for Skill Development Plan or Individual Support Plan. These are additional levels of support offered to children in our program who are struggling with behavior in the classroom. If you are unsure if a child has any extra support in place, ask your lead teacher. Finally, we added space to record what number this OOPS is out of the total number for the day. This can help teachers track when they need to call their support team for additional support or directions. If you choose to record more than one OOPS on a page, leave room to write other numbers or tally marks on this line. The first box of the OOPS form, Describe the OOPS, is no longer optional. When describing the OOPS behavior, focus on what happened before, during, and after. When thinking about before the OOPS, ask yourself these questions. What was the child doing before the OOPS behavior? What changed in the environment around the child? What may have happened to the child? What were the clues of dysregulation? When thinking about during, describe the challenging or concerning behavior. What did you see, hear, or feel? When thinking about after, consider how did the child react to being redirected? How did other children react to the behavior? How did the behavior affect the environment? If recording more than one OOPS on the form, put a number beside the description to identify which description is for which incident. The second box is the setting of the OOPS. This section hasn't changed and has the same options as the prior form. Just fill in the circle that corresponds to the activity the class was engaged in at the time of the behavior and the number if using the page to record more than one incident. The third box is the challenging or concerning behavior you observed with the child. Just fill in the circle by each of the behaviors that occurred during the period of upset and number separate incidents. The fourth box is influencing factors. This box allows the teacher to give information about what is known about the child, the family, and the classroom at that moment. What did the parent or guardian report at drop-off about the child or the family? What changes may be occurring in the classroom or family dynamics? Are there staff who are not present? What factors in the environment may be upsetting the child? Is the child new to preschool or group care? This information can be helpful when trying to understand the child's behavior. If you have no information to share, leave this box blank. The fifth box is about what skill the child may be missing. What category of skills does the challenging behavior fit into? Is the child struggling with impulse control? Is the child emotionally dysregulated? Does the child lack empathy for others? Is the child struggling to attend to the teacher or focus on a task? These categories match up with the skills on the skill development plan. This will help us choose types of interventions if the child needs more intensive support in the future to help them learn a missing skill. If recording more than one OOPS on the form, put a number beside the missing skill to identify which missing skills go with which incident. The sixth box is what the teacher thinks the goal of the behavior might have been. What is the child hoping to accomplish? There are 3 main goals of behavior: to get something I want, to avoid something I don't want, or to communicate something to someone. Communication could be to other children or to a teacher. The child may not know the words to communicate to others. The child may not know how to express the feelings they are experiencing. Or the child may not know how to do what is being asked of them. Remember to put a number beside the goal to identify which goal occurred during which incident. The seventh box is the safety plan for the day. This is where staff decide how they will keep the child and the classroom safe for the rest of the day. Line of sight monitoring is where one teacher is assigned to keep eyes on the child at all times. Other teachers may help by completing tasks this teacher may have been doing or is assigned to do. One-to-one shadowing by staff is where one teacher is assigned to be within arm's reach of the child at all times. Separate from other children is where one teacher will remove the child from the classroom routine and try to help the child regulate. This can occur inside the classroom, in a different area away from other children. This can also occur outside the classroom for short periods of time, like a sensory break or a gross motor break, which lasts only 2 to 5 minutes. Any breaks outside of the classroom should be in the child's SDP or ISP and be approved by the parent. Finally, the team may choose to contact the parent to discuss the behavior and ask the parent how they handle the behavior at home. Teachers may choose to contact the parent in addition to other strategies to help keep everyone safe. This strategy lets the parents know that we care about them and how they handle upset with their child. It is not helpful to contact the parents simply to notify them of the behavior without seeking a deeper connection with them. Box 8 is new to the OOPS form. In this box, staff look at how they help the child co-regulate. In 8A, the teacher can record how they responded to the child. One of the things we know about children's development is that how we respond to a child's emotions is part of how they learn to understand and express their emotions. Self-evaluation can be hard, especially when in the heat of the moment. Please remember, we all have oopses and times when things don't go like we wish they had. Try to see your own oopses as an opportunity to grow. Remember to number if reflecting on multiple incidents on one form. In 8B, the teacher can record how they calm the child. We know the child must be calm in order to learn from their mistakes and re-engage their higher brain functions. In this box, record all of the strategies used to help the child calm their body and number the incidents. Box 9 is also new to the OOPS form. Here, the teacher can reflect on how they turned the OOPS into a learning opportunity for the child. We know that modeling is an important tool to help children learn to navigate the world and understand their own feelings and behaviors. In 9A, What Skills Did I Model?, the teacher records what skills they were able to model for the child to avoid the oops next time and number which skill was modeled during which incident. Sometimes our children are missing skills and we have to teach them how to do what we want them to do. They may not know what to do, or they may not know the words they need to say. In 9B, What Skills Did I Teach?, the teacher records what skills they were able to directly teach in the moment to help the child avoid an oops next time. If recording more than one oops on the form, you know what to do. The comment box was added to allow the teacher to explain things that happen that do not fit into any category, or to elaborate on any box previously mentioned. In the follow-up box, the teacher can indicate what feedback they may have gotten from the area supervisor or support team regarding the oops. First, does the child need a set tool completed? Next, does the team need to schedule a meeting? If so, with who? What type of meeting is needed, an SDP, an ISP, or something else? Finally, if the child was sent home, who made this decision? In the staff signature and print box, the staff sign the oops and print their name so central office staff can identify who completed the form. In the parent signature and print box, the parent can sign the form and print their name so central office staff can identify who was informed of the oops. This is only needed if the child is sent home or if the area supervisor has requested staff give the oops to the parent and get a signature. The communication box is a place to indicate how the oops was communicated to the family. If the area supervisor has asked that the oops not be communicated to the parent, leave this box blank. Just a quick reminder, the white copy of the form goes into the orange counselor folder. The yellow copy goes to the parent or gets shredded. Once the Head Start counselor and the area supervisor have initialed the oops, it can be filed in the child's blue education folder. The back of the oops includes the 5 steps of emotional regulation as an extra resource when needed. Thanks for taking the time to learn more about our updated oops form. We can help the children in our program grow best when we grow ourselves.